All right, today we're heading to Lebanon's Bacchus Valley, to a place that is just full of the most stunning contradictions. I mean, this is a city that has seen empires rise and fall. It's housed these colossal temples to ancient gods, and now it stands right at the crossroads of modern conflict. This is the story of Baalbek.
You know, when you first see the ruins of Baalbek, the scale is it's staggering. What you're looking at here is the Temple of Bacchus, one of the best preserved Roman temples anywhere in the world. And get this, it's actually bigger than the Parthenon in Athens. But as incredible as it is, the real mystery of Baalbek is hidden underneath it all, in its foundations.
Let me throw a number at you. 1,650 tons. That's the estimated weight of a single block of stone found in a quarry right nearby. To put that into perspective, that's like 3 Boeing 747s. It just begs the question, right? How on earth did ancient engineers quarry, move, and even plan to use stones that big?
I mean, the ambition here is almost unbelievable. This massive monolith, which was only uncovered back in 2014, is thought to be the largest ancient block anywhere on the planet. It's just sitting there in a quarry, this silent testament to a story of truly epic construction. But as we're going to see, it's also a story that's been shadowed by centuries of devastating conflict. So let's wind the clock back, way back, to the city's golden age. After Alexander the Great conquered it, and then later, when the Romans took over, Baalbek was given a brand new name and a very, very grand new purpose.
The Romans called it Heliopolis, which is basically a Latin version of its Greek name, meaning Sun City. And that's because there was already this powerful solar cult here, which the Romans just eagerly adopted and then expanded into one of the most important sanctuaries in their entire empire.
And boy, has the passage of time changed this place. On the left, you can see a reconstruction of the incredible Temple of Jupiter in its heyday, and on the right, the 6 colossal columns that are all that's left of it today. Just to give you a sense of scale, there were originally 54 of them. 54!
Now, what the Romans did here was pretty clever. They didn't just bring in their own gods. They actually merged them with the local Canaanite deities. So their chief god, Jupiter, was identified with the Canaanite sky god Baal. Venus got paired with Atergates, and Bacchus with the youthful Adon. It created this totally unique religious blend called the Heliopolitan triad. And this brings us right back to that incredible engineering. The main temple platform rests on these gigantic stones. The most famous of them is the trilithon, 3 massive limestone blocks, each one weighing about 800 tons, fitted together almost perfectly. How they pulled that off is still a subject of really intense debate. But of course, the age of gods and this kind of monumental construction, well, it couldn't last forever. The fall of Rome kicked off a centuries-long story of upheaval, destruction, and adaptation. Man, the centuries after Rome were just a whirlwind. First, the Christian emperor Theodosius tears down the great temple of Jupiter to build a church. Then the Muslim conquest. Then it gets sacked, repeatedly, by Mongol and Timurid forces. And finally, the whole city gets absorbed into the Ottoman Empire. Every new power left its mark, creating this incredible layered history. And you can literally see this layered history right on the site today. I mean, the ancient complex was just too valuable to abandon, so it was turned into a fortress. New structures like this medieval mosque and Mamluk fortifications were built right inside the Roman complex, often using stones recycled from the ancient temples themselves. But it wasn't just conquerors that brought ruin. Nope. Nature played a huge role too. The sources tell us about a series of just devastating earthquakes, especially in the 12th century, which toppled columns and shattered walls, speeding up the city's decline from this major religious center into just a regional town.
And this brings us to the modern era, where the ancient stones of Baalbek have become the backdrop for entirely new chapters of conflict and geopolitics.
So, to understand modern Baalbek, you really have to look at its demographic landscape. Based on registered voters from 2014, the population is majority Shia Muslim, with a pretty significant Sunni Muslim community, and a Christian minority. And this makeup really shapes the city's social and political dynamics. Now, according to our sources, Baalbek is considered a political heartland for Hezbollah. The group set up a strong presence here during the Israeli occupation of southern Lebanon back in the 1980s, using the city as a base for recruitment and training. And it continues to hold significant political influence in the region today.
And that political reality, well, it's placed the city directly in the crosshairs of modern warfare. During the 2006 Lebanon War, Baalbek was a major target. and it was hit with numerous airstrikes throughout the conflict.
The impact has been severe. The shock waves from those bombs actually damaged the ancient ruins themselves, widening cracks in the temples. Hundreds of civilian homes were destroyed, and the city's tourism economy, which is so vital, has just been crippled again and again. The threat is so real that in 2024, UNESCO actually granted the site enhanced protection status.
But here's the thing, amidst all of this, the colossal ruins and the echoes of conflict, it is so important to remember that Baalbek is not a museum. It's a living, breathing city. It has bustling markets, homes, and communities that just continue to endure, writing the next chapter of this ancient place. Which leaves us with a final, kind of lingering question. For a city like Baalbek, so deeply layered with the worship of ancient gods and the realities of modern geopolitics, what does it take for a priceless piece of world heritage not just to survive, but to truly endure?